Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Lucas Oil Raceway Park, also known as Indianapolis Raceway Park, for tonight's IRP doubleheader. It is the season finale, or the regular season finale, I should say, of the Pit Pass Network ARCA series. My name's Robert Hill Jr. Joining me in the booth tonight is William White. Will, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very excited for our regular season finale. How are you, man?
I'm doing very well, Will. Let's take a look at the track, why don't we, here, and see what we're doing tonight. Of course, we're headed to Brownsburg, Indiana, Lucas Oil Raceway Park. You can see it right here on your screen. The just over half-mile short track. It is 0.686 miles, or 1.1 kilometers. The turns have 12 degrees of banking as well. So this is going to be a tight race, a very close side-by-side race, and something a little bit different tonight, Will, that we might as well go ahead and mention now. We're going to do this twice tonight. We're going to do a double header, so two 60-lap races to set the playoff field. And let's take a look at the starting grid, including a surprising pole sitter tonight in Caleb Pecumer out of the Lake Norman camp. He's going to be alongside Jimmy Hayden, a driver that's been pretty dominant since joining the series. Dylan Havier in row number 2 alongside Hunter Smith. Jeff Green and Corey Abbott, the two regular season championship contenders. Abbott locked into the playoffs by starting this one here. Jay Connor, Leighton Norgard make up row number 4, with Gavin Higgins and Justin Wadsworth in row 5. Will, why don't you take us through the rest of the field here, starting with Michael Hosick in 11th.
Yeah, as you say, Michael Hossack in 11th. Alongside him on the outside will be David Carpenter in the 71. That's row number 6. Position number 13 will be Jess Story, and all the way from Peru, it's Carlos Acosta. On the outside of row 7, 15th is Frank Foti in the 41 and Mitch Havier in the 58. Tyler Skordensky in the 06 will start 17th, with Dustin Haynes on his outside. Carl Simmons and Harrison Talon will round out your top 20. Further down, Bailey Mills in the 007 will start 21st. Christopher Paff in 22nd. Jesse Racimus and Jaden Racimus lock out a father and son at row 12, with Connor Thompson, Josh Osborne and Andrew Hardcastle P25, 26 and 27.
So one thing that's going to be unique here tonight, and some people at home might be going, oh boy, why in the world are we doing this? We are going to do a full field inversion after half number 1. So if you finish last in race number 1, you're going to start on the pole in race number 2. So that's going to make things a little bit interesting out here. As we take a look here, your pole sitters, Caleb Pecumer and Jimmy Hayden, they are going to put on a show here tonight, and let's see what we can do, as I believe the iRacing.com pace car driven by Fred about to make his way onto pit road as we send it over to Barney the flag man. Let's get set to go green. We are racing here at IRP, and a great jump by Jimmy Hayden.
Caleb Pecumer, his first pole of his career, maybe not used to it too much, didn't get a great launch. Jimmy Hayden on his outside, he got a brilliant start, and he's going to take the lead early on in race number 1 of our IRP doubleheader. He is your new race leader. Caleb Pecumer, though, keeping the pressure on there, side by side behind him for the final podium place. That's Hunter Smith and Dylan Havier.
Yeah, Hunter Smith up into position number 3 is David Carpenter going to go around. That'll bring out caution number 1 of the day. Let's take a look at what just happened there to Dave Carpenter.
Side by side with Michael Hossack here, in between 3 and 4. Maybe gets a little bit loose off the corner. We'll have to wait and see. The 71 Monster Raps machine just drops it, catches it, but is caught in the back by Jess Story. Frank Foti, an innocent bystander. Jess Story just couldn't react in time. Frank Foti just hits him. Skordensky does a brilliant job navigating through that one, almost.
So the 71 there, Will, and I'm gonna consult you on this. 71 gets a little bit bent out of shape, able to collect it up. Unfortunately, Jess Story nowhere to go. Dave Carpenter obviously can't necessarily move out of the way. I'm gonna rule that one a racing deal here on lap number 2 of this one.
I would definitely agree. It's only lap 2. That these guys just getting their feet wet with the current track conditions. David Carpenter just had a little bit of a wiggle, and Jess Story, no time to react. Frank Foti, an innocent bystander, Unfortunate, but I don't think that's anything other than a racing deal for these guys.
You are absolutely right there. As the driver's saying, are we going to have a track blocker tonight? Yes, we are. 100% at some point throughout this event, we're going to get a track blocker. It's just the way it goes at these short tracks. Sometimes, Will, I know it, you know it, and they know it as well.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. That's just short track racing. You know, such a narrow track, only, you know, less than 7/10 of a mile long, you're guaranteed to have a blocker at one point. It's just going to happen, but that's one of those challenges you have to navigate to find victory lane at these tracks.
So a couple of things to note here. Jesse Racimus did not take the start here this afternoon. Harrison Talon opted to start on pit lane. And you see right there, Corey Abbott, he's lost a ton of spots. Went for an early pit stop. Actually, no, he didn't. So Corey Abbott just not having a good start. I believe he started on pit lane here, potentially. Let's see if we can get an update on that story, Will. But Franklin Fody currently sitting on pit road as well, as the lights are still on the iRacing.com pace car. Jimmy Hayden indicates to Caleb Becumer he's going to take the outside lane on this upcoming restart, as those lights should go off this time. Yes, they are. Fred has flipped the switch, and he's going to get ready to set them free once again. And another thing I do want to point out, obviously, a little bit cloudy out there right now, Will. Rain is not in the forecast today. I have consulted James Spann and multiple other top meteorologists around the United States of America, and they have said no rain in the forecast today. We're going to be clean and green all race long. Well, hopefully green at some point as we get set to go green 10% of the way in already here on lap number 6. Jimmy Hayden, the control car, he's going to get set to go back underway as Fred, the pace car driver, takes it pit side. He's gone back to bedrock as he hands it over to Barney. We are green, and Caleb Becumer has a bit of wheel spin on that start.
Yeah, Caleb Becumer, a little bit of wheel spin, like you said. Jimmy Hayden takes off like a rocket. Seems to become one of his signatures recently. But Caleb Becumer hangs on to second place again. Smith and Harvey side by side temporarily. Dylan Harvey just grabs a little bit of the wall, but manages to hang on to 4th place. Letting Norgard and Gavin Higgins are side by side there for P number 6. Norgard will take that with a smile on his face. Jaden Racimus.
He had a slight issue. We are okay, though. Kyle Simmons went off the racetrack as well. We'll see what happened there. We do stay green, though. So we'll have a quick gander back to what happened to Kyle Simmons on lap number 7. Watching that 85 machine. Mitch Javier up in the outside wall. Bailey Clark goes by. Ooh, a little bit of contact there with Connor Thompson.
It's like a very awkward kind
Bailey
of...
Mills, or not Bailey Clark.
Deal.
I got the wrong name right there.
Yeah, I think as the 58 was in the wall there, Connor Thompson kind of reacted to it. He was already too wide with the 85 there of Kyle Simmons, so he kind of came down there in reaction to seeing the 58 up in the wall there. So unfortunate. But yeah, race control administering a tally to the number 16 there of Connor Thompson. But we stay green at IRP at lap 10 of 60.
We are green indeed as we continue to watch Caleb Becumer chasing down Jimmy Hayden
tonight. Caleb Becumer definitely not going down without a fight. As we see that,
he's in a fight indeed right here. Hunter Smith just behind him. This is a driver that's really shown his prowess this season in the Pit Pass Network ARCA series. Is Hunter Smith. He's come alive over the last couple of weeks. I see we have a pretty good battle right here. It is Gavin Higgins and Justin Wadsworth going to be side by side for position there, just towards the tail of the top 10. They are scored 7th and 8th respectively. I do want to take a look though at our regular season points leader, Corey Abbott. He's kind of stuck back here in position 21.
Kind of stuck back there. He is behind Jaden Racimus and David Carpenter. Both of them 2 abreast. There's nowhere really for Corey to go as he gets to the outside of Jaden, so he might be P20 as there's an accident in front of them. They're all around. Bailey Mills, Josh Osborne, Frank Foti, they're all around in turns 1 and 2. Caution is out, lap 13.
Caution out once again. Let's take a look and see what just happened with Joshua Osborne. Ooh, a little bit of contact from Bailey Mills to the rear end of that machine. Let's see how this one continues on. Bailey Mills into the back of Josh Osborne. Then Osborne drives down the racetrack into the side of that machine. Can't get it Oh. I'm going to put a tally on the 07 on this one. I think there was a lot that could have been avoided in this incident. He puts it in the wall. Then it looks like he comes back at Bailey Mills. Then continues back into Frank Fody. Going to collect Mills again. Fody again. Jaden Racimus just gets by. And then he drives back into Bailey Mills. So tally going to be issued to the 07 of Josh Osborne here on lap number 13.
Yeah, it seemed like Josh Osborne off of turn 4 there. Came up a little too quickly on the nose there of Bailey Mills. So 007 had nowhere to go and then hit him 2 more times. So unfortunate for those guys. But yeah, that'll bring out your second safety car of the night. Lap 15 at 6. We're a quarter of the way through. Jimmy Hayden still your leader. Caleb Bakuma, though, not going down without a fight. He's in P2. Hunter Smith, though, always a possibility to stir up something interesting for these guys. He's in 3rd. Jay Connor and Dylan Harvey rounding up the top 5. Leighton Norgard, another strong one for him. He's 4th in the points right now, 6th on the racetrack. He's looking to lock himself in to the postseason chase, as is Higgins, Wadsworth, Story, and Hossack. They're all in and around that bubble there, finishing off your top 10.
Appreciate the run through there, Will, as I was just doing a bit of administrative work, issuing a tally to Josh Osborne with that incident. I felt that there was some very avoidable contact that took place after that caused some damage to the likes of Frank Fody and Bailey Mills, as both those drivers going to have to deal with a bit of damage now as they try to rebound from that incident. So tally issue to them. Just noticing now Andrew Hardcastle's paint scheme for the night. Actually, this has been the one that he's been running for a while. It's got Corey Abbott on the hood of that thing.
Yeah, I believe that is, as Corey put it, 11th grade pork chop. So he's about 17 years old, I believe, in that picture. So, I mean, Corey's 24 now, so it looks a little bit different nowadays. But yeah, always kind of fun to see Corey Abbott from 11th grade on the front of Andrew Hardcastle's machine, as you see a little top-down view there. I wouldn't want that in my rear-view mirror, especially at a short track.
No, definitely don't want that. Just taking some fun peeks here at the likes of Corey Abbott. Look at that smile, though. Looks like almost looks like a cave. As Corey Abbott working his way around. Well, I guess we're going to ride on board Corey Abbott for this restart back here, as we are green from high above the field. It's the Corey Abbott machine.
Yeah, obviously the Corey Abbott machine is a little bit further ahead.
I believe we're 3 wide up towards the front. Let's go. Oh, Caleb Bakuma in the wall.
In the wall. Connor's involved. They're still in the wall. They're going to stay green for the time being. Talon's around at the back of the field, I believe. That is more crashing.
Wow. Okay.
Talon is around. So Corey Abbott's involved, I believe.
We are under green, or under yellow again, as we take a look at what just happened. Harrison Talon. We'll watch the Talon issue first. Gets into the back of Jaden Racimus, goes around. Tally going to be issued to the 1 of Harrison Talon on this one. But I got to see what happened with Caleb Bakuma up here. So we're going to do a little bit of a manual rewind on this one.
3 wide for second place.
Bakuma comes up across the nose of Jay Connor.
Yeah, Caleb comes up there. Jay Connor nowhere to go, runs completely out of room. Both of them in the wall. That was Connor Thompson, not Corey Abbott, in that accident there. Both black and orange cars. Thankfully, no disaster situation for our current championship leader. Leighton Norgard, though, as we mentioned earlier, 4th in points. A big beneficiary from that accident. He's up to 3rd. Hunter Smith will be in 2nd, but all the while, Jimmy Hayden, stout as ever, a 3rd of the way into this race. He's led every single lap here at IRP so far. He is your leader with 40 laps to go when they come to the line here, still under yellow flag conditions.
So tallies just issued to both Harrison Talon and Caleb Bakuma for 2 separate incidents there on lap number 18. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll carry you through the middle portion of race number 1 of the IRP doubleheader. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at IRP. Fred, the pace car driver, headed pit side as we're about to get going. Once again, it's Jimmy Hayden, Hunter Smith on the front row. Couple drivers with issues on pit road. Actually, just going to be Christopher Paffis, Frank Foti, and Harrison Talon, both going to be 1 lap down towards the rear of the field. Hunter Smith sleeping, and it is Jimmy Hayden with a Leighton Norgard out to the race lead. The top 2 from Abbott Motorsports.
Yeah, Hunter Smith tries to pull the switch back down. Leighton Norgard might find success with it, but we saw some brilliant teamwork there from the teammates. Obviously, they're sharing a voice channel. Jimmy Hayden telling Leighton exactly when he's going to step on that loud pedal. Leighton Norgard did clear, but a brilliant, intuitive move there from Hunter Smith puts him back to the inside of Leighton. He's back into second place. They're wrecking behind it, but they save it.
Great save by Mitch Avier.
Caleb Pacume just squeaks past. Corey Abbott right in the mix there. Hopefully he keeps his nose clean for the sake of his championship hopes, but they're still side by side. Carpenter and Mitch Haver near the middle of the pack. Haver will clear the 71 machine. Meanwhile, 2 more Abbott Motorsports teammates. That's Corey Abbott and Andrew Hardcastle. They're side by side. Hunter Smith
Battle
now
for the
looking at
lead.
Jimmy Hayden for the lead of this race.
It's Hunter Smith all over the rear end of Jimmy Hayden here. Just behind them, Leighton Norgard, Justin Wadsworth, and Jess Story up inside the top 5. Story, the biggest mover of the day. Actually, I stand corrected. He is not the biggest mover of the day. That goes to Jaden Racines, up 9 spots, started 24th. Currently sitting in position number 15 back here as he works his way just behind the Caleb Pacumer machine. Pacumer looking to rebound from his early race issues as we see Andrew Hardcastle take a look to the inside of Dave Carpenter, hearing a little bit of wall tapping going on somewhere up here. As we jump back up to the top 5, Jess Story took a look to the outside of Justin Wadsworth, not able to get there as we are very quickly approaching halfway here. William White, going to be 3 laps to the halfway point in race number 1, this time by 28 down, just 33 to go.
Yeah, with lap times of south of 30 seconds, only 30 laps to go. These laps will tick down fast. Hunter Smith, Leighton Norgard, those guys have got less and less time with every lap that goes by. Jimmy Hayden cruising out in front, half a second deficit's all he needs ahead of Hunter Smith to close out this race 1 victory. He looks completely unparalleled and very stout up there, but running through the top 5, chasing after him in hot pursuit.
You say unparalleled, but so much can still happen at this point. And you know, I gotta point out, obviously we're missing a couple big shots from this race, such as Chase Cabry, who's come in and won a bunch, Kendall Noah Player, who's been a solid addition, Tyler Dixon as well. But we're seeing the likes of Gavin Higgins up here, Tyler Skordensky, Jeff Green, as Josh Osborne into the outside wall towards the rear of the field. He's gonna gather it back up, take to the inside of Connor Thompson. He's going for a slide.
He's around, up into the field.
Oh, he stays going green. Oh my gosh. Look at the front of that car. Have you seen that? Wow. I've never seen the tires skewed out right and left side. He's basically taken a race car and turned it into a dart at this point. Very interesting strategy in this one, but we are past halfway. It's Jimmy Hayden out front of Hunter Smith, Leighton Norgard, Justin Wadsworth, Wadsy just all over the rear end of Norgard here. Jess Story in fifth, battle on for sixth. That's Hossack on the bottom, Dylan Havier up top, another one of the Lake Norman rookies that has had an absolutely phenomenal season here in the Pit Pass Network ARCA series. Just look at how he's working that steering wheel as we ride on board with Dylan Havier now just behind Michael Hossack. We'll get his picture off the screen here. Just watch those blue gloves. That's all you're going to see now is that in-car view. He is absolutely working that steering wheel, trying to see what he can do to get by Michael Hossack, pushing it as hard as he possibly can without overstepping at this point, as these drivers putting on a decent show here in the middle stages of this one. William White.
Yeah, we're seeing these boys like Dylan Havier trying to get back past Michael Hossack, driving on the absolute ragged edge. Let's just see Joshua Osborne taking it pit side. See some attention to that 07 machine, which looks worse than it did when we last saw it. Very interesting take on the
I'd like to back it up a little bit
system.
and just see maybe something happened just prior. I saw a lot of smoke. Oh,
That'll do it.
let's back this up a little bit more. See what we can do. Maybe get a little good view.
Drops off turn 4. Tries to get back on the gas, can't save it.
I don't hear brakes.
Twice. I'm hearing a lot of right foot, and he's still on the gas.
Wow. Okay.
360 degrees.
All right. All right. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? Try to keep that car rolling. 25 to go, and we're coming up on some lap traffic here. That's Christopher Paff just about to get lapped here by Jimmy Hayden. They're going to go side by side as Hayden going to clear, not quite clear. There he goes. Does get by the Christopher Paff machine, as now Hunter Smith going to arrive on scene. We see a battle a little bit further back. It's Gavin Higgins, Tyler Skordensky, Dylan Havier, and Jefe Verde, Jeff Green. 4-car battle. Hey, look at Dustin Haynes up here as well in position number 11. Nice drive by the Canadian.
Yeah, brilliant drive there from Dustin Haynes. Jeff Green currently in 10th. That's notable because there are some big points up for grabs. You see Corey Abbott a little deeper in the pack. Obviously,
Corey's
Jeff
in
Green
15th
and Corey Abbott,
currently, Will.
your two championship leaders. 14 points between them as of right now. So Jeff Green wouldn't quite be taking the lead, but he'd definitely be easing into it. As they do get quite tight as you say, but Jeff Green are looking at 8th place, so accumulating those points ahead of Corey Abbott, while Corey still sits in 15th. Jeff Green sitting just behind Tyler Skordensky and side by side with Gavin Higgins. They're fighting hard on the outskirts of the top 10 with Jay Connor. That's Dylan Havier and Dustin Haynes behind them.
So just of note, does look like Harrison Talon has parked it for the remainder of race number 1. Not sure if he's actually still in the server, Will, as he is not currently showing on pit road, but we are side by side for second. It's Hunter Smith and a Leighton Norgard. And just an update here, folks. Obviously, quick cautions here tonight. No real time to get interviews under yellow. When we do have those, Hunter Smith blinks, and he has come back, thank gosh, as he is able to collect it back up. But no time for interviews under yellow. We're going to talk to the top 3, hopefully, between halves number 1 and 2, which is currently Jimmy Hayden, Hunter Smith, and a Leighton Norgard, the top 3.
Yeah, we see a Leighton Norgard to really turn the burners on these last dozen laps. After getting briefly overtaken by Hunter Smith on the restart there, we see a Leighton Norgard powering back with that long run speed that he's got in his back pocket. They're still side by side for second. Hunter Smith not giving this up. Justin Wadsworth, who we're on board with now in the roll bar of that number 6 machine, has got a brilliant view of this. He's hoping he can get a sniff of it if these two remain side by side, as Hunter Smith is
Hunter Smith
Justin
in the wall.
Wadsworth almost had his own incident in sympathy there. Hunter Smith might lose 2 spots here. Justin Wadsworth, Hunter Smith side by side through turn 3 for position number 3. Wadsworth will clear. Hunter Smith looking for the inside there off the exit turn 4.
I thought we were about to have a potential issue, but we got to battle the Abbotts back here. It is Corey Abbott, then Jaden Racimus and Andrew Hardcastle. But we got to go back to this battle, folks, up front. It is Justin Wadsworth and Hunter Smith. Is now Wadsworth going to clear Hunter Smith and work his way back to fourth? Jess Story holding on to 5th as the closest battle on your racetrack currently falls with Jaden Racimus.
Yeah, Jaden Racimus fighting hammer and tongs with Corey Abbott and Andrew Harkar. So he's got 2 Abbotts on his right-hand side, 1 in the car, 1 on the hood of the trailer, number 22. But that racing machine holding strong on the inside of Corey Abbott there, your current points leader. But Corey Abbott's going to look to dispatch of him quickly if he wants to claw back that points advantage.
What a view behind Corey Abbott, by the way. It's Corey Abbott behind Corey Abbott currently. That is scary to see coming up behind you, I gotta say.
Yeah, absolutely, obviously. Probably not the most comfortable thing to see in your rearview mirror. Maybe Corey should keep his eyes firmly out of his windshield to kind of retain that focus. Doesn't want to put it in the wall.
He's got hammers and tongs coming at him apparently as well, so guess we're having a barbecue with some tools.
Yeah, one out of cheeky barbecue in the infield. I mean, got some good racing.
Oh, caution!
We have got a caution.
Christopher Paff.
Big damage on the side.
Oh no. Paff lap
with
car
Jeff
on the
Green.
outside of Jeff.
Hits the wall, collects Higgins. Big one.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Gavin Higgins. He's just going to get the outside wall, the Christopher Paff machine. We did call a racing deal on a similar incident earlier on, so we're going to rule this one the same here. That one actually could go on the 30 of Christopher Paff. Just taking a look, drives it up into the outside wall. Yeah, we're gonna go with a tally on the 30 of Paff on that one, as everyone does come down pit road. We're gonna hear from our friends at Worldwide Technology Raceway as soon as the field does exit pit lane. We'll see who wins that battle off.
Yeah, everyone's coming into the pits now. Jimmy Hayden with that second pit stop. Later, Norgard has a decent pit stop. Jimmy Hayden, though, wins the race off pit road. It's going to be an Abbott 1-2 off pit road. Wadsworth, 3rd. Story, 4th. Hunter Smith with not a great pit stop. He'll come out 5th. Higgins, involved in that last incident, he's 6th. Hanvir, Hossack, 3 wide off pit road. Corey Abbott's up to 9th. Jeff Green, his championship rival, 10th. That's your top 10 in the race off of pit road. Jimmy Hayden, though, still leading the field with 12 laps to go.
12 to go. Let's step away. When we come back, we'll take you to the conclusion of race number 1 of the IRP doubleheader. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here. It's race number 1 of the IRP doubleheader. My name's Robert Hill Jr. Joining me is William White. In the car you see right there, the 100, that is Jimmy Hayden currently leading the way. He's been dominant all day so far. Just behind him will be alongside on the front row his teammate, Leighton Norgard. Justin Wadsworth going to be the inside of row number 2 with Jess Story to his outside. Then it's Hunter Smith, Gavin Higgins, Dylan Havier, Michael Hosick, Corey Abbott, and Jeff Green.
Yeah, obviously some big moves on pit road there. We saw the Abbott Motorsports boys, Jimmy Hayden and Leighton Norgard, they retained their 1-2 status off pit road, but Corey Abbott, with what I can only assume to be a 2-tire pit stop, got his way up to 9th place, crucially ahead of Jeff Green. Obviously, he's the one he's fighting for the regular season championship, so that gap will open up just a little bit at the front of the table. But speaking of the front, it's Jimmy Hayden, Leighton Norgard. Jimmy Hayden electing for the outside again. Seems to be a very strong, wise choice for the number 100 machine.
He's done a great job from the outside, Will.
This time by. Absolutely, yeah. It seems like with that slightly banked corner, seems to give the outside leader just a little bit of an advantage over the inside on the restarts.
As we get set to go once again Fred, the pace car driver, will take it pit side. 8 to go on this restart. Jimmy Hayden with another fantastic jump. He is out front. They're going to go 3 wide for third. Jess Story, Justin Wadsworth, and Hunter Smith as we got to go high above as we got Hunter Smith around.
Hunter Smith pulled no punches there, but he ends up in the dirt on the inside. But there is a caution flag out on the racetrack. I think before Hunter Smith went around, I don't know if Hunter was the cause of the caution. I don't know if there's a separate incident that we didn't see, but that will be yellow number 5 of race number 1.
Watching the 54 of Hunter Smith goes to the inside of Wadsworth. This is the only thing that's flagging as an incident right now.
Just gets on the apron underneath Wadsworth.
Wow.
And he does collect a slight bit of the wall. That did bring out the yellow, I believe. So
yeah, that is the only incident. So tally issued to Hunter Smith. Tally going to be issued to the 54 of Hunter Smith. That's his first of the day. Shouldn't be any issue there for him.
For a unforced incident there. Obviously, he did spin to the inside, which did cause caution number 5 in race number 1 there. Obviously, a big power move there, tried to get to third place, but didn't quite go right there for Hunter. Hunter Smith demoted all the way to the back of the field. He's currently P21, just behind Frankfurt. So a big hit to Hunter Smith's chances of winning this race. That does promote Gavin Higgins up to 5th place, where Hunter Smith was on the restart. So he's a big beneficiary. After being involved in an incident not too long ago with Christopher Paff, it seems like Gavin Higgins has recovered well, as we are now 5 to go. Still behind Fred, the pace car driver. I believe we are 2 to green now, as we remain at single file.
As we get set, once again, lights should go off on the pace car this time. Jimmy Hayden, Leighton Norgard, Jess Story, Justin Wadsworth, and Gavin Higgins now the top 5. A tally was issued to Hunter Smith right there. Just kind of a weird one, honestly, Will. I think it was the angle that he was facing towards the inside wall that triggered the caution.
Yeah, very interesting, because usually the iRacing won't usually call a caution for a single car that's not on the actual physical track itself. So it's very interesting to see. Maybe it was the fact that IRP doesn't have a massive runoff area on the inside of the back straight. Maybe it's, like you say, the angle that he was facing that inside wall, or maybe the big speed decrease that the game detected that decided it was caution worthy. But either way, yeah, as you say, the tally was issued to the 54 car, who now finds himself in P21. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hayden, who has led every single lap of this race, continues to stay in the lead as we now come to 3 to go, this time behind the safety car.
And actually, we are incorrect. The lights are still on the iRacing.com pace car. They should go off this time. Yes, they will. So this will be a natural green-white checker. We do have up to 3 overtimes here, presented by PitPassNetwork.com, your home for all things motorsports, from news to reviews and interviews. Check out PitPassNetwork.com today, as Jimmy Hayden opting to take the high side once again here. William White, Leighton Norgard down on the inside. Then it's Wadsworth, Story, Hosick, Higgins, Green, Javier, Connor, and Abbott as we get set to go green once again. As I mentioned, Jimmy Hayden, the control car, he's taking the high side. Fred the pace car driver has taken it to pit road. Barney the flagman has the green flag in hand as we head for the Geico restart zone. We are green once again. Great jump by Jimmy Hayden.
Leighton Norgard caught a little bit sleeping there. Justin Wadsworth gets to his right rear. He's going to hang it on the outside. That sure fight for second place at the end of race number 1. Justin Wadsworth, Leighton Norgard, door to door into turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hayden remains in the lead. They'll come out of turn 4. If there's no yellow, they will take the white flag. This half of the doubleheader will be official. Wadsworth clears the Leighton Norgard almost into turn 1. Norgard fights back on the inside. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hayden powers out of turn 2. Half a second in the lead. Wadsworth just inching ahead of Leighton Norgard into turn 3.
as we head through 3 and 4 for the final time in race number 1. Checkered flag for Jimmy Hayden. Justin Wadsworth second, Leighton Norgard, Jess Story, and Michael Hosick round out the top 5. It's Gavin Higgins, Jeff Green, Dylan Havier, Jake Connor, and Corey Abbott rounding out the top 10 with Andrew Hardcastle, Caleb Becumer, and others just behind them. We're going to go into a quick warm-up session, allow these drivers to get some practice underway in the darkness of IRP as we get set to talk to our podium finishers in just a minute. We're going to step away and we'll be back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here, just wrapped up race number 1 of the evening. It's Jimmy Hayden taking the victory ahead of Leighton Norgard and Justin Wadsworth. Or was it Wadsworth and Hayden? Or Wadsworth and Norgard.
Second place.
That's right, there we go. Let's go ahead and talk to Leighton Norgard, our third place finisher, standing by with Will.
Leighton, it's William up in the booth. You got a copy, my friend?
Sure do.
Well, 60 laps at IRP for race number 1. You ended up 3rd place. Obviously, that was a little bit up from your qualifying position. How do you sum up that race overall for you?
It went pretty well. I would have liked it to have finished gone green the rest of the way after that long run, but yeah, I can't complain too much about a third. Would have had second locked up, like I said, if it had stayed green, but yeah, it is what it is.
Obviously, with the full grid inversion that we'll have for the second race, that'll put you 3rd to last starting race number 2. So what's your kind of plan of action for getting back to the front before the night is done?
I'm just going to not do anything too stupid, kind of take my time and follow people through as much as possible. Corey and Andrew were towards the back in that first race, and they were saying how hard it was to pass, so we're going to have our work cut out for us, but also we're passing other people than were up around us, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, hopefully this isn't the last time we speak to you tonight, but just in case it is, are there any shout-outs you want to give for getting that 12th car on the track tonight?
As usual, the rest of the Abbott crew, Corey, Jimmy, Andrew, we've got Mitch in there with us tonight, and you and Robert.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on 3rd place in round 1. See if you can go to Petter in race number 2.
Thanks.
That was a Leighton Norgard, the 3rd place finisher here. Now we're going to talk quickly to Justin Wadsworth, the runner-up here tonight as we kick a Leighton out. Let's talk to Justin. Hey, Justin, is Robert up in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Came home with a 2nd place finish there in half number 1. How'd you feel out there, and can you take anything from race number 1 here into race number 2?
I felt pretty good, man. I don't know if I've got enough to beat Jimmy, but I'm hoping, as tough as it is to pass out here, starting in front of him with the inverted field will help me kind of keep him behind me, and hopefully I can make my way through and get another top 3.
And how are you feeling about that inversion, knowing that you're going to be starting 2nd last?
You know, honestly, I think it's usually fun. You know, when I was a kid playing racing games, I used to always like to start in the back because then you could pass all the cars. So I think it'll be a good time. Definitely exciting too for everybody watching.
It should be a good one. Less than a minute until we hit the grid. So any shout outs from you, sponsors you want to thank?
Shout out to the dad as always, my crew chief, and then shout out to you guys. You guys do a great job in the booth, so it's always fun watching it back afterwards.
Well, congratulations on the runner-up finish here in half one, and best of luck in race number 2.
Thanks, guys.
That was Justin Wadsworth, the runner-up. Now standing by with William White is our race winner, Jimmy Hayden.
Jimmy, it's William in the booth. You got a copy of me, amigo.
Howdy, fellas.
Hey, so firstly, congratulations on the win. How would you sum up that first half of the doubleheader for you, and what's your plan of action for race number 2 now that you are starting absolutely dead last?
Went a little too smooth. I'll tell you that much. This one with a lot of fast guys starting in the rear, it's gonna be a different story, I think. But I'm gonna just keep my nose clean and try to move as far forward as I can.
Absolutely. Well, if it is the last time I speak to you tonight, which hopefully it isn't, any shout-outs you want to give or sponsors you want to thank for getting that number 100 out on track tonight?
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for putting on the show, getting me in here. Kind of thankful you guys moved this race a week so I can make it. I know you guys did that just for me and no other reason. But yeah, no, shout out to all the Abbott Motorsport guys. They're all looking pretty good tonight, so hopefully we can go 2 for 2.
Awesome. Well, congrats on that half-on win. Go get him, son.
Thanks,
Go,
mate.
go get him, son. All right, Will. As
Go get him, son. He's 10 years older than me.
take a look at the grid. Somebody's just requested an EOL, Will, so I'm not sure if you could take care of that real quick. As it's Jesse Racimas, Harrison Talon on the front row, Josh Osborne, Bailey Mills, row 2, Hunter Smith, Chris Paff, row 3, with Dave Carpenter and Frank Foti, row 4, Mitch Avier, Tyler Skordensky, row 5, with Kyle Simmons, Connor Thompson in row 6, row 7, Jaden Racimas, Carlos Acosta, Dustin Haynes, Caleb Becumer, Andrew Hardcastle, Corey Abbott, Jake Connor, and Dylan Javier. The top 20, the rest of the field, Jeff Green, Gavin Higgins, Michael Hosick, Jess Story, and then your podium finishers from race 1, Elaine Norgard, Justin Wadsworth, and Jimmy Hayden, as for some reason, Jesse Racimas has become part of the screen.
Well, as we all know, Jesse Racimas, the 70 machine, a long-time sponsor of the Pit Pass Network ARCA series, so got to give him that screen time. Meanwhile, 2 drivers who locked horns a little bit in half number 1, Bailey Mills and Josh Osborne in the 07 and 007, respectfully, will line up on the front row. Josh Osborne on the pole on the inside. Second place will be Bailey Mills on the outside. Very interesting to see how some of these guys navigate through the quote-unquote traffic. I don't want to be mean and just call them traffic, because obviously these guys are fast in their own right, but it's no secret that the guys like Jimmy and Layton and Justin Wadsworth will be looking to blitz through the field as quickly as they can and get past everyone. Hunter Smith, though, still wicked fast. Obviously, having finished third to last in the last race, he will now start P3 for
Just
half
a
number
quick
2.
update here. Josh Osborne, the pole sitter, now with Bailey Mills in second. Harrison Talon going to start on pit road. Jesse Racimas going to take an EOL penalty as we are racing at the front of the field, and I think Hunter Smith is going to be a huge beneficiary of this invert. He was very quick in half 1, and he started up there in the top 5 to start half number 2. Here as Josh Osborne leads on lap number 1.
Absolutely, Josh Osborne got a decent launch there off the line. He will lead the first lap of his Elite Racing League career. Congratulations, Josh Osborne, you are in the lead of race number 2 of the IRP doubleheader, but you've got Hunter Smith in hot pursuit. There's a big crash by an Andrew Hardcastle involved. Justin Wadsworth caught a piece of it there. Jason Racimas wiggles on by big damage to the 22.
We're going to have to back this one up manually. Ooh.
There's no yellow. 3 wide.
I think he just gets loose. Yellow flag is out, though, this time. Ooh.
Big incident. Connor
we got
Haynes.
numerous cars
Green.
involved.
Jeff Green, second in the points. Now with that big dent in that 38 car.
See if we can get a look at what just happened here. Corey Abbott was involved. Ooh!
Oh, way further up. Connor Thompson into the back of Christopher Paff. It seems like Acosta and Becumer had their own accident in avoidance almost, seeing that.
Not sure what happens there with Christopher Paff, but he just slows up.
Didn't get a great launch off of turn 4. Does slow up abnormally.
The 16 of Connor Thompson just gets into the back of him, and that triggers absolutely everything
And
behind.
Kavir into the back of Corey Abbott, so both our championship protagonists in a big heap of trouble.
So we are just going to quickly step away. We'll be right back in a moment's time here. Caution number 1 of the day out on lap number 3.
There is drama in Brownsburg.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here. It's IRP doubleheader race number 2. Josh Osborne remains your leader here. 7 laps into this one, just ahead of Hunter Smith. Just behind them, Bailey Mills and David Carpenter, with Frank Foti and Mitch Havier in row number 3. Simmons Skordensky row 4, with Jaden Racimas and Michael Hosick in row number 5. As we're going to get set to go green once again, with Josh Osborne on the control car on the outside here. We are about to go racing. Here we go. We are green. Big stack up.
Big stack up. That might cause an accident. It hasn't, though. Big stack up on the inside, but Hunter Smith's going to take the lead. While that all happens, Josh Osborne, no choice but to concede that. Hunter Smith, wicked fast in half number 1. He's blitzing the field. They're 3 wide further back. But Hunter Smith, your new race leader. Josh Osborne not going to give it up as Justin Wadsworth, unfortunately, going a lap down there after a solid P2 finish in half number 1. But Hunter Smith, your new race leader in that number 54 Warriors for Peace machine.
Yeah, the Warriors for Peace 54 of Hunter Smith, like you said, out front. Josh Osborne, Dave Carpenter, Bailey Mills, and Frank Foti make up the rest of the top 5, as I believe is Christopher Paff. Going to go around once again. Let's see what happened to him in the 30.
In the wall there, more trouble for the 30. And again, a big slow up. Gavin Hicks just gets into the back of him. Christopher Paff spins back onto the racetrack. No further damage to the 30. But another bizarre incident involving Christopher Paff from the exit of a corner.
So he gets up into the outside wall here, into turns number 1 and 2, just very slow. Gavin Higgins accelerates like normal, and just nowhere to go.
Let's go. Corey Abbott almost involved with another incident there. Thankfully managed to get away from it unscathed.
Couple drivers with some damage here. Tally issued to Christopher Paff there.
Yeah, very unfortunate for some of those guys that got caught up in that innocent bystanders. As we see Jay Connor claim his free pass as lucky dog, as it were. He'll be back on the lead lap, but Hunter Smith leading the way. He is in position number 1 in car number 54. Josh Osborne, your half 2 pole sitter, after finishing dead last in half number 1. He still remains in P2. David Carpenter in P3. Mills in P4 and Frank Foti in P5. The 06 is in P6. That's Tyler Składecki. Simmons, Harsack in row number 4 on the restart. Dylan Haver and Jaden Racines running up the top 10. Jimmy Hayden, your winner in half number 1, has already made his way from last to 11th. So look for him to continue making his way through the field. Teammates, Leighton Norgard, Corey Abbott, Andrew Harkart all find themselves in the top 20. So they're looking to make their way towards the front of the field. Meanwhile, everyone behind Jay Connor and P21 is in the pits as Path and Connor take it pit side again, likely tending to some repair work.
"13 laps in, almost a quarter of the way through this one. It's going to be Hunter Smith and Josh Osborne up front. Couple cars on pit road. Christopher Paff, Jake Connor. Connor Thompson rejoins, but Dustin Haynes and Caleb Pecumer both pit side with some extensive damage on those machines. Just to point out, Justin Wadsworth is currently 2 laps down. Now, Will, obviously, what's your thoughts so far on what we've seen here in race number 2? Obviously, some carnage early on. Some drivers that started in the rear of the field still struggling to get up there. But Jimmy Hayden up to 11th. Leighton Norgard up to 13th. So guys that finished on the podium of race number 1 still showing some strength here in race number 2.
Yeah, obviously Leighton Norgard in his interview mentioned just how difficult it is to overtake here at IRP, but it is doable as him and Jimmy are showcasing. As you say, they are P11 and P13, but Josh Osborne still impressing many people here in half number 2. After a difficult first half, he's in second place, but Hunter Smith, who's been speedy all night long, was in the top 5 for much of half number 1, ran into some bad luck, but is now leading half number 2. He'll enter the Geico restart zone with David Carpenter and Bailey Mills behind. He's in the restart zone. He steps on it. It's a good start for Hunter Smith. David Carpenter immediately up into second place. Bailey Mills to the inside of Josh Osborne. Josh Osborne not with an ideal start.
As we continue to battle up front, a couple drivers dealing with black flags in the back due to not being able to get by in time. That was the 30 of Christopher Paff falling through the field. So a couple of black flags to be cleared here by our trusty race controller, William White. That's going to take care of that. As the 85 Simmons goes
big hit.
Hard impact. Corey Abbott involved.
Gavin Higgins. Wow, massive accident there.
We'll take a look, see what just happened. But Simmons goes around. Simmons up into the side of Hossack. Multiple other Leighton Norgard.
Leighton Norgard in. Corey Abbott up in the air. Harrison Talon's in it.
Multiple drivers involved in that one, so that's going to be issued to the 85 of Kyle Simmons. It's going to be his first tally of the day.
Oh, Simmons with extensive damage to the front and back of that 85 machine. Massive accident there. We saw Corey Abbott catch some air with the back of that number 21 machine. Leighton Norgard, podium finisher in half number 1. He was involved big time. He'll have some front end damage. Jimmy Hayden just missed it. It was the 58 of Mitch Haver that was involved. Obviously, big damage to the front of that number 12. As we see Mark J. Robala's photo replay on board in the passenger seat of the number 12. We see the accident just starting up ahead. Leighton Norgard goes high. Carl Simmons gets spun in front of Leighton. Leighton with nowhere to go. Doesn't get tagged again, thankfully. As we see Jeff Green involved, Corey Abbott involved. So championship protagonists and podium sitters all involved. Big accident there with a lot of big names involved. See Carlos Acosta catch them there, getting tagged there in the back. Jesse Racines just dodges it.
That was Harrison Talon we're currently on board with here. He got quite a bit of damage from that one as well. So a couple guys with early damage, not in the shape that they would have wanted to be at this point. Corey Abbott, one of those drivers, the front end of that thing a little bit jacked up, not sounding as healthy as it was earlier. Carlos Acosta with some rear end damage. Christopher Paff with his earlier damage. Jeff Green with some early damage as well. Andrew Hardcastle, I think he put a dent in Corey's face. As a couple others involved, a Leighton Norgard with some rear end and front end damage. Jimmy Hayden just got through that one. Harry Talon on pit road, trying to figure out how to get into his pit box. Sitting in the 07 box currently of Josh Osborne. And speaking of Josh Osborne, he's still up there in position number 3.
Yeah, obviously starting at the front, it kind of leaves you less susceptible to the carnage that tends to happen with a full field inversion in the mid-pack and near the back of the pack. So Josh Osborne's done incredibly well there to remain in the top 3 after starting on the pole. Hunter Smith, though, with some incredible pace, got a good restart last time around. David Carpenter as well managed to get back up to second. He's the leading Volkswagen in the field as Hunter Smith driving on the apron. He's not going pit side. Maybe he's cooling those tyres down some, maybe a little bit of a tactic there from Hunter, but he is remaining in the lead behind the safety car driven by our newly named safety car driver Fred, as was revealed by iRacing in the 2024 Season 2 build patch notes.
As the field shuffles positions here, it's going to be Dave Carpenter up top. Hunter Smith, the control car, has taken the inside lane here. We'll see what they can do on this restart. Lights are off on the pace car. Fred going to head pit side as the field gets set to go once again, about a third of the way through this one. We'll see who's able to get it done. As Smith going to look for that loud pedal here. Let's see what he can do on this restart. We are green flag racing once again.
Good restart there from Hunter Smith. Stepped on the loud pedal big time. David Carpenter couldn't quite react as he's got Josh Osborne looking for second again on his inside. Here comes Bailey Mills on the 007. Almost all banging there for third place. Bailey Mills looks to be trying to take that away from Josh Osborne. Josh Osborne going to remain firm on the inside of Bailey Mills. Looking to the inside of Carpenter. The 07 pulling no punches. He's looking for second place. Frank Foti also on the inside. He's looking to make some moves near the front of the field, as is Tyler Skordensky. 06 in P6. Meanwhile, Hunter Smith pulling away as they're side by side, 2 by 2 for the podium positions and the top 5 positions.
Yeah, some absolutely great drives up here. We're watching side by side for second. That's Osborne on the inside. Carpenter up top. Just behind is a battle of Franklin Foti and Bailey Mills as the 06 of Skordensky gets the outside wall. Foti comes up nearly into the side of Mills. They briefly 3 wide as Osborne going to lose position. Javier going to lose some spots towards the rear. Osborne solidifies in the top 5, but Skordensky just behind alongside Hossack. They're going to race tight as here comes Bailey Mills going to clear ahead of Frank Foti. Move Mills up to third. A great run here by Mills. Of course, luck from the inversion as Mills going to be up there in third. I'm seeing someone on the bottom. I believe that's Jimothy Hayden. Yes, it is. He drops down to the inside. Going to go side by side with Jesse Racimus for position number 10. So these guys all cooking, booking, and looking to gain some spots out here. 26 laps in, just about 35 to go.
We are fighting for second place. Bailey Mills showing some electric pace. He's on the inside of David Carpenter, looking to take P number 2. It'll be his highest ever finish in the Elite Racing League, but David Carpenter will not give that up without a fight. They're side by side for P number 2. Hunter Smith has got some great
Mills around.
He's into the back of Bailey Mills. Josh Osborne's involved. Skordensky's in it. Jaden Racimus is in it.
Mitch Javier involved. Frank Foti. I believe that was Foti into the back of Mills from initial look, but let's take a look.
Massive accident there at the front of the field.
Watching the 07 of Mills, the 41 of Foti. Yeah, that's just Frank Foti right into the back of Bailey Mills there. Multiple others going to get involved. So unfortunate there for Mills. Was having a phenomenal run as multiple others going to get involved. Let's see if we can take a look at this from another angle. Just seeing how many other cars do get involved. You see Frank Foti, you see Bailey Mills. Track is blocked at that point. Oh, Jaden Racimus going to get in it. Jesse Racimus. Wow. Jess Story telling us to take a look at his POV. Let's jump on board with old story time.
Jeez.
Riding on board here with Jess Story.
Back in front of him.
Oh,
You see the accidents from in front. Whoa! Moses, as they would say, splits the spinning cars. He's up into 5th. Meanwhile, Frank Foti is in his pit box. He is looking to tend some of that damage as he does get a tally from race control. Bailey Mills also in his pit box. Carlos Acosta traveling through the pit lane. All the while, Hunter Smith remains untroubled in the first half of this race. Much like Jimmy Hayden in half number 1, all the carnage is happening behind him. Hunter Smith is your leader. David Carpenter in the 71. He's in 2nd place. Michael Hossack has made his way up to 3rd. Tyler Skordensky has stayed out of the trouble as well. He's up to 4th. Jess Storm in 5th. Jesse Racimus in 6th. Your half 1 winner, Jimmy Hayden, making some big moves. He's up to 7th. Gavin Higgins is in 8th. The 57 of Dylan Hebbett is in 9th. Jay Connor is in 10th place. Meanwhile, Leighton Norgard, also podium sitter, he's in 11th, and some other guys making some big moves behind him. Also, some guys getting involved in some trouble, not least championship leader Corey Abbott, who's in 13th currently. He was involved in that last crash. Cycling through the rest of the field now. See Bailey Mills back on the racetrack. Here comes Josh Osborne. He's also back on the track. No one with terminal damage, thankfully, but definitely some guys who will be missing some performance from their machines. As we see Frank Foti coming out of pit lane now with some damage to the 41 machine. But the squeaky clean at number 54 remains at the point of the field. The
Now,
lights
Will,
remain on the IRS.
I want to ask you something right here. We are halfway through this one. 3 guys out front. Not guys that we always get to talk about when they're battling for victories. Obviously, a long way to go. And obviously, Jimmy Hayden making up a lot of ground here right now. Do we think one of this top 3 right now is going to be the car to park it in victory lane in 30 laps?
I mean, obviously Hunter Smith is a past winner in the series, having won in the inaugural series at Nashville, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But David Carpenter and Hossack yet to take victory lane in this series. But yeah, Jimmy Hayden obviously making some big moves. He's kind of your outside looking in driver at the moment in P7. But I think with the amount of carnage that we've had, 4 cautions in less than half the laps, I would say as long as Hunter Smith can keep it on the black stuff, he is looking pretty stout to take victory in half number 2.
As pace car does go off here, Fred gonna head back pit side as we prepare to go racing. Once again, control car is Hunter Smith on the inside. Dave Carpenter on the outside in that 71 car. Toss against Skordensky just behind as we get set to go green. Let's head for the restart zone. We are green.
Again, a brilliant restart there from Hunter Smith. Already clears David Carpenter by about 0.3 of a second. Hossack and Skordensky will fight for 3rd and 4th as Frank Foti pulls into pit lane. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hayden side by side with Gavin Higgins. That's Higgins putting some pressure on Jimmy Hayden, trying to take P7 away. Jimmy Hayden trying to hang firm. Meanwhile, Hossack trying to take 2nd place from David Carpenter. Story, I beg your pardon, and Skordensky side by side for 4th. Story looks to maybe have that one in the bag. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hayden up to 6th.
No!
Now on the inside.
Contact for second.
Of Carpenter. Carpenter and Hossack in the we stay green. They're spinning again. Connor's around. Now there will be a yellow.
Wow.
5th of the Jeff Green's involved as well.
We are under caution. Once again, let's take a look and see what just happened. So we see the contact up there. Oh, there you go.
Dylan just gets into the back of Jay. Leighton Norgard just misses it. Maybe gets tagged a tiny bit.
I just want to ride on board, just make sure the caution lights are not illuminated yet at this point.
I don't think there are any around.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
They're still green. They are still green at that point in the replay.
So this is the caution. Is it though?
It's still green. That is still green.
That
there.
is the caution though.
Yellow.
Oh, Jeff Green gets involved in this.
At the point of contact between Haver and Connor, the caution lights were not illuminated. It was still under green flag conditions there.
Ooh.
As Osborne gets into the back of Jeff Green, that's how Jeff Green got involved. So, as we cut back to real time, with 24 laps to go under our 5th caution of the night in half number 2 of the IRP doubleheader. The regular season finale, the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series, Hunter Smith is your leader. Jess Story avoids the carnage. He's in 2nd. Skordensky, Hayden, Rasimus, also guys who avoided the carnage. They are 2nd through 5th, respectively. Michael Harsack was slightly involved in that. You see some front end damage on the front of the 24. He's in 6th. Higgins in 7th. Dylan Havier is in 8th from the 57. Leighton Norgard's made his way up to 9th, albeit not easily. He's been involved in a couple accidents thus far in half number 2, but it's Mitchell Havier in 10th, someone we haven't seen that far up thus far. And it's an all Abbott row 6 with Corey Abbott behind his teammate Andrew Hardcastle. That's your top 12 as we
Couple
run.
tallies issued right there, Will. One to the 57 of Dylan Havier getting into the back of Jay Connor. Another one issued to the 07 of Josh Osborne for getting into the back of Jeff Green, sending him around in that same sequence of events.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Spicy. A couple tallies issued there. Definitely a lot of avoidable contact we saw that ended up causing the 5th caution of the night. But crucially, I think all of our gladiators are still running. I think everyone except for Caleb Akuma, Harrison Talon, and Dustin Haynes are right. So still 24 engines running in this field.
Harrison was involved in the earlier incident. He also parked in race number 1, so just wondering if he's just out here to put some laps in the books here tonight rather than actually racing for a shot at victory, as of course he has 2 early DNFs here tonight at IRP. But we're gonna go green with 21 laps to go. Hunter Smith, the control car, with Jess Story on his outside. Then is Skordensky and Hayden now in the top 5, makes things interesting here. If I'm Jess Story, I'm watching that rear bumper for a bit of a push here from Jimmy Hayden as we get set to go green. We're gonna head for the Geico restart zone as Hunter Smith already peeking ahead. He is going for it. We are green.
The outside line was definitely a lagger behind a little bit there, led by Jess Story, but Jimmy Hayden will pull no punches. He smells victory. He's avoided all the cars. Probably the only clean car over both halves of this doubleheader. He's now looking for 3rd. He's on the outside there of Tyler Skordensky. Meanwhile, Jess Story in hot pursuit of Hunter Smith, who is still your leader and has been the entire race. Jimmy Hayden pulls past Tyler Skordensky. He's up into the podium places now, already looking to the inside there of Jess Story into turns 1 and 2. But to no avail thus far. But it's no secret that number 100 car is going to fly towards the front of the field. He's going to take every opportunity to take that win away from Hunter Smith and go 2 for 2 in the doubleheader in the regular season finale. Further back, Leighton Norgard comes up on Dylan Havier. That's the 57 machine. Leighton Norgard, his teammate. Big accident. They're all in the wall. Rasimus, Acosta, everyone.
Wow. That was a big old one right there on lap number 42. I think it's Norgard up into the side of the Dylan Havier machine, but we'll take a look. Watching the 12 of Norgard. Yeah, he just comes up across the nose of Dylan Havier. Nothing Dylan really could have done there. So that will bring out the caution, the 6th of the day, as we'll take a look, see what happened to Corey Abbott to get involved. Bailey Mills going to get a piece. Jeff Green, Jaden Rasimus. I believe Mitch Havier somehow gets involved in this one. Oof. Wow. So that's a big old one right there, William White.
I would agree. Probably the biggest accident we've seen so far. Corey Abbott flies into the side of Leighton Norgard. Obviously, huge damage to the 19, possibly terminal. That was absolutely massive. All triggered by Leighton Norgard slightly chopping off the nose there of the 57 car. We saw Carlos Acosta get collected as well in that massive pile-up in turns 1 and 2. But Smith, Story, Hayden remain at your top 3 for the time being. Andrew Hardcastle, though, dodged all of that, and with the snap of a finger, it's up into P number 6. So a brilliant bit of survivalism, which is kind of his trademark, as we saw at Daytona earlier in the season, with Corey Abbott's face on the hood as we look back from the 24 of Michael Hossack. Andrew Hardcastle is keeping that sandcastle well structured. He is in P6, but Hunter Smith still leads the way under safety car conditions in caution number 6 with 16 laps to go at IRP.
Getting down to the late stages of this one here. Hunter Smith continuing to lead the way. We're going to step away real quick here from the folks at Worldwide Technology Raceway one final time. When we come back, we'll take you to the conclusion of race number 2 of the IRP doubleheader on the Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back. You just heard from our friends at Worldwide Technology Raceway, one of our premier partners here in the Elite Racing League, alongside Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses, small business owners. Blue Egg is your biggest fan. And of course, pitpassnetwork.com, your home for all things motorsports. From news to reviews and interviews, check out pitpassnetwork.com today. And if you head over to that website, you can see our staff predictions at Pit Pass Network and just see how terrible my predictions have been all season long in NASCAR, IMSA, and IndyCar.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely going to be checking out Robert's horrific predictions for all 3 of those series because he knows nothing about motorsports. So I would definitely
think overall this year, Will, I have a accuracy of 11%.
That is pretty terrible. I think we'll have more reasons to check it out.
I am the lowest of the whole team as we get set to go green with 13 to go. Hunter Smith, the control car on the inside once again, as is Jess Story on the outside. Jimmy Hayden, Tyler Skordensky make up row number 2 as we are green.
We are green. See, the outside lane doesn't quite get going.
Jimmy Hayden. Jimothy.
He's looking to the inside of Jess Story. He's looking for second place. Hunter Smith has come not under much pressure so far in half number 2, but if Jimmy Hayden can clear that 29.3 YTV machine in about 2 laps time, I would say he's going to have a very hungry bubblegum breathing down his neck. Jimmy almost clears off of turn 4. Meanwhile, Simmons and Osborne are side by side. That's for P10 there. 07 hanging firm on the inside. He will clear off of turn number 2. Hunter Smith still leading this race. Jess Story trying to hang on to P3. Jimmy Hayden giving him a bit of ball. There's some short track racing for you. Jimmy Hayden takes P2. We'll
11 to go, Will.
Fight back. 11 laps to go. Is that enough time for Jimmy Hayden to catch Hunter Smith?
Absolutely.
He's going to really have to put his foot down.
I think the better question, Will, sorry to cut you off here, is do we stay green to the end? We got a caution late in half number 1. Are we going to get a caution late here in half number 2?
I think it'd be a fool to bet against it.
You would be a fool. I mean, look right here. Jimmy Hayden, as we ride on the hood cam of this car, he's going to take an unbelievable dive to the rear end of Hunter Smith. 9 to go at the line this time. The battle is on. Here we go.
Jimmy loves short track racing, and when he gets a sniff of victory, he will go absolutely all guns blazing. Even if it's 9 laps to go, he's going to treat it like it's the white flag lap. A 10th and a half behind Hunter Smith, sending it into turns 1 and 3 every single lap. Hunter Smith is not going to be the most comfortable right now with a Charlotte winner breathing down his neck, but there is a caution. Someone's around. That's Connor Thompson around in turn 3.
Taking a look at the 16 at Thompson. Let's see what happened. Oh, he gets into the back just about of Acosta. checks up and Jeff Green just nowhere to go. That's going to bring out the latest caution here. Bit of a domino effect on lap number 52.
Seems like Connor Thompson was entering normally, but I think slightly overreacted to potentially getting into the back of Carlos Acosta. Not much Jeff Green could do. It will be ruled a racing deal. But Hunter Smith is coming under increasing pressure from a very hungry Jimmy Hayden. The only one of the podium sitters to really survive this mess. As we see the other podium sitters, Justin Wadsworth in 16th and Leighton Norgard 25th and out of this race after being involved in a massive accident a few laps ago. So Jimmy Hayden, the leading Abbott Motorsports car, leading Hardcastle, and as previously mentioned, Abbott and Norgard as Frank Foti takes his free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap as we take the green flag and have a couple of laps time as we ride on board there with the 41, obviously father of 7-time champion Tyler Foti.
Tyler has 7 championships?
Tyler has 7 championships.
How the heck did he do that?
He's the Lewis Hamilton, the Michael Schumacher, the Richard Petty, the Dale Earnhardt.
I believe only one of those is a cup title, though.
One of those is a cup title. I believe there's 2 Grand National, 2 trucks, and there's something else that I don't know.
What a guy.
So
What a lad.
5.
Look at him.
We'll have to go do some research because he's won a lot.
He's got a couple wins, doesn't he?
He has got a couple more than me.
Just a few. Let's take a run through the field here, Mr. Billiam, as it is Hunter Smith out front, Jimmy Hayden in second, Jess Story there in position number 3 with Tyler Skordensky in 4th, Michael Hosick rounding out the top 5 in 5th. Rubilas photo on the side of that. Shout out Mark J. Rubilas and RubilasPhoto.com. Andrew Hardcastle in position number 6, Dylan Javier in 7th, Jake Connor in 8th. It's Josh Osborne in 9th with Mitch Javier in position number 10. Then it's Kyle Simmons rebounding from his earlier incident. Carlos Acosta, he's been caught up in just about everything here today. Bailey Mills 13th. Gavin Higgins 14th. Justin Wadsworth in 15th. It's Christopher Paff 16th. Jesse Racimus 17th. Jeff Green 18th. And Carpenter, Jaden Racimus, and Connor Thompson, as well as Frank Foti rounding out the cars. Still in this one.
Yeah, Hunter Smith and Jimmy Hayden definitely your kind of 2 horses still very much in the race for the win, but don't count out the trailing pack. Jess Story, Tyler Skordensky, Michael Hossack, Andrew Hardcastle. They could also have a stiffer victory if the front 2 lock corners a little too hard, but Jimmy Hayden, obviously a short track race.
3 to go and we go green here, Will.
Winner. Half one winner, and as you say, 3 laps to go. There's not a lot of time for Jimmy Hayden to take this win away from Hunter Smith. There's not a lot of time for Hunter Smith to defend it. Hunter Smith's going to have to get a brilliant restart if he wants to keep Jimmy Hayden at bay, as they are right up by the wall, entering the Geico restart zone imminently.
As we head for the Geico restart zone, Hunter Smith, the control car, and control he does. We are green once again.
It's a decent restart. Jimmy Hayden, though, sends it into turn 1.
Oh,
he's ball banged by Jess Story. And Jess Story almost off. Tyler Skordensky will take P3.
As we continue to battle up here, Hunter Smith comes to 2 to go. Ahead of Jimmy Hayden, Tyler Skordensky, Michael Hosick, and Jess Story. As Story dives to the inside of Hosick here, side by side for 4th.
Absolutely, the gap, 0.2 of a second. Jimmy Hayden has got about 20 seconds to catch the back of Hunter Smith. Does he use the bumper? Does he try and force his way
White flag.
Right on the back bumper. Final lap, white flag, dive bomb. They're side by side, door banging. Jimmy Hayden into the side of Hunter Smith. They're side by side out of turn 2 on the final lap.
Side by side, Hunter Smith up top. Jimmy Hayden on the bottom, crossover contact.
Both ways.
Oh, contact for the lead. It's going to be Skordensky. Wow. Skordensky, Story, and Hardcastle.
What a finish. Both of the leaders crash. We said it. The leaders might lock horns.
Oh my
And it happened.
gosh.
Tyler Skordensky is a winner in the Elite Racing League.
Let's go take a look at that. Jimmy Hayden and Hunter Smith gonna come together here, going into 3 on the final lap. Hayden loses it up into Hunter Smith. Tally gonna be issued to Hayden here as everyone else piles through. What a battle to the finish, and Skordensky, a winner in the Elite Racing League.
Absolutely. Capitalized on a massive fireworks moment there between Jimmy Hayden and Hunter Smith. It all came to blows in the final quarter mile of the race. He tried to pull the slide job in front of Hunter, couldn't quite get it done. Got tagged, a massive pile-up ensued, and out from the wreckage like Lightning McQueen comes Tyler Skordensky for his first ever win.
We're going to step away real quick. When we come back, we're going to talk to Tyler Skordensky, Jess Story, and Andrew Hardcastle, our podium finishers. What in the world is this world we're living in, folks? We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here, half number 2 at IRP. We're going to have a quick word with our third place finisher, Andrew Hardcastle. Andrew, it's Robert up in the booth. You got a copy. You finished on the podium, my friend. Third place finish as a result of some absolute chaos on the final lap. But that's exactly what you needed here today. A big points day. And that definitely going to help you a little bit. Don't think it'll get you in the playoffs, as, of course, you didn't run the full schedule, but still a very solid result to end the regular season. How you feeling after that one? Andrew, we gotta do this over. Have you muted?
God.
Andrew Hardcastle, our third place finisher here, just told us how excited he was to finish third, and unfortunately he was muted. Andrew, how you feeling after that one, my friend?
Pretty good, considering how most of that race went. It was pretty chaotic throughout, but I got caught up pretty early in something and thought I was done for the most part, and got lucky with a couple of wrecks there towards the end after everybody had kind of steadied out for the most part, and there was a gap, and I shot it and somehow came away with third.
Now, obviously, you haven't had the season that you would have hoped for here in the Pit Pass Network ARCA series, but still getting up here to work yourself into a podium position and have yourselves a little bit of momentum going forward here in the Elite Racing League. How do you feel heading into Wednesday, tomorrow night, of course, after a podium?
I'm hoping it transfers into tomorrow, because I feel like the tracks are somewhat similar. They're not identical by any means, but they are both fairly slow, heavy braking tracks. So I'm hoping it carries over a little bit. I'm mostly doing ARCA races for fun because I did miss the first little bit. So as long as I get decent finishes, that's all I'm here for.
And that's a good way to look at it. Before we let you go here, Andrew, any shout outs you want to give or people you want to thank for making this happen for you?
Mostly just my HUD sponsor, Corey, and the rest of the gang down there. Always trying to help me get a little bit better, because saving tires and a lot of little I can get some speed out of cars, but I can't hold it, and they're working with me to try to make it better. And tonight, I guess damage helped more than anything else, but it's fun running with those guys.
You take it out, you can get it, my friend, and you got one here tonight, coming home third. Andrew Hardcastle, great run here tonight. Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, Ace.
That is Andrew Hardcastle, our third place finisher. Now standing by is our runner-up, Jess Story, here with William White.
Jess Story, P2, you got a copy, my friend?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Well, I've just about caught my breath, so I can now interview you. Obviously, finishing second in the absolute bar burn. I just summarise that from your perspective, because from up here, that was all just absolutely mental.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch my breath, too, from that. But overall, it was a good night in both races for me. You know, top 5 finish, obviously, in both of them, and a P2, of course. Definitely needed something like that tonight, coming into this night. And, you know, just honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. You know, I did everything I could, and I think regardless of how the points shake out, I know I had an uphill battle coming in. Regardless of how that shakes out, I am so proud of how I performed tonight.
Yeah, obviously, definitely a performance to be proud of season long, and especially so tonight. Obviously, whether you do or don't make the chase, kind of, what's your outlook on the rest of the season now with 5 races left before we have the season opener in Gateway?
The outlook for the rest of the season, I'd say just try to, you know, go for wins as much as I can. You know, I feel like some of these tracks, I feel like I could probably be good enough to have those opportunities, but at the end of the day, I just got to execute and perform, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on a very stout P2 once again. Anyone you want to thank for this one? Any sponsors? Any shout-outs?
Hey, shout out to my team, RK Motorsports, and Carlos Acosta. Also, shout out to 3Y TV for sponsoring me. It's been a privilege working with them this year. And shout out to all league admins and officials here. And of course, shout out to you guys in the broadcast booth. It's been a blast racing in this league this year in the ARCA series, and I'm looking forward to more of it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on an awesome finish once again, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
That was Jess Story, the runner-up here in race number 2. And now, let's hear some excitement. Tyler Skordensky, winner in the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series. How good does that sound?
Sounds pretty good.
What were your thoughts coming into turn number 3 on the final lap when you see the leaders take each other out?
Hoping they stayed high.
Well, stay high they did, but why don't you walk us through your night as a whole? Obviously, race number 1 didn't necessarily go the way you would have expected, but race number 2, you ran up towards the front and you stayed up front the entire time, and of course that helped you land in victory lane here.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't have any good expectations for tonight. I had a baseball game before this. I didn't get to practice. I just made it with 2 minutes left before qualifying. Qualified towards the back in the first race, got up front, but missed my pit, and that messed me up. And then the second race, just ran up front, avoided all the chaos, and just stayed there at the end.
So I don't know if that was good enough to get you into the playoffs. We're still working on adding race number 1 to the standings, but if it only counted race number 2, you would be in. You would be the final driver in the field. So it's going to be pretty close for you, but we'll see what happens here. But anyways, looking ahead on the schedule, we're going to head to Talladega in 2 weeks because we're off next week. It's Talladega, Iowa, Chicagoland, Dover, and Gateway to end the season. What's your outlook for those races? Do you think maybe you can grab another victory there?
I don't know. I'll see how it goes when we get there. Just try to be consistent up front.
And consistency definitely key for you here. Some final thoughts from you and any shout-outs that you'd like to give after picking up your first career victory.
The win's pretty good. And I'd like to shout out the people that race with me, Jaden and Jesse Erasmus and Gavin Higgins and Jay Connor, and all the people that watch the broadcast.
Congratulations.
And having the broadcast to race.
We're very glad to bring you the broadcast. Glad that you took part in the series. And we want to congratulate you on your first victory. And we hope to see you back in victory lane sometime soon.
Thank you.
Well, that was Tyler Skordensky, first-time winner here in the Elite Racing League. Final thoughts from you, my friend?
I don't know if I have any thoughts left in my brain after that absolute monster finish. That was an incredible race from start to finish, and I think that those final two corners really just encapsulated the absolute chaos that was our first ever doubleheader in the ARCA series. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Corey Abbott is officially our regular season champion. So despite going home in a mangled piece of junk on a trailer, he will at least lift that championship trophy. We'll see if he can lift another one in a few weeks' time. But that was definitely a race worthy of capping off our regular season. Hopefully we'll see more action in the next 5 races.
Yeah, and we are working on finalizing the points for this one. We'll see who's made the playoffs and who has not. But next time out for the Pit Pass Network ARCA series will be in 2 weeks' time at Talladega Super Speedway. And we hope you can join us then. On behalf of William White and myself,